Wah, wah, wah. Hello. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's Dee Dee. How's it going? Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Zan. Let me rearrange my windows a little bit. I've got so many open today. I figured out my iPad how to how to use the capture card with my iPad so y'all can finally see my absolutely atrocious handwriting. Hi, Zexu! So like it said on the tin on the schedule, this is basically, you can treat it like a work with me stream. This time I'm actually studying something instead of just working on stream stuff behind the scenes. Now this game is, actually, nah, we'll leave it there. The struggles of being a left-handed person. No matter what I do, setups are atrocious. I'm like, can I even write? Because I usually have my microphone on my left side. And I'm like, do I even have enough space to write stuff? Oh. The Apple Pen is not happy with this cramped room I have. There we go. Oh. And I mean, I can't move the mic to my right because that would require moving the whole arm and everything. But yeah, so this is kind of in the way a little bit. Ah, there we go. So this is, oh my god, I'm trying to keep it in spot for you guys to see. Wagotabi. The way I have to hold my pen makes my writing even worse. But this is the game. It's Wagotabi. We played it a little during a demo fest recently. And basically, you're literally playing Pokemon, but instead of collecting Pokemon, you're collecting Japanese words. And instead of getting gym badges, you are trying to get nihongo, which are like seals. Like, instead of writing signatures on stuff, people will use nihongo, and they just stamp their seal on it. So the nihongo are basically gym badges. It's literally just a Pokemon journey. But it's fun. It's on mobile and PC. I have it on mobile, but I decided, rather than try and play the game from my iPad, I would get it on PC as well. Plus, it gives an opportunity for me to go back and actually make notes about all the stuff they teach you. Because it's like, sure, you can go back into their little dictionary thing and look up the different lessons they teach you. But I'm like, that's inconvenient. Especially when you're stuck on a quiz kind of thing. So that is it for today. I'll be yapping through it all as I'm working through stuff. And maybe just chatting in general, but yeah. Can I get Wagotabi in Japanese? Can I write it? I'm trying to remember how the strokes go. Wa? No, that's more like ka. God damn it. Go. B. Something like that. I told you my writing is atrocious. Especially the Japanese handwriting. But yeah. So, as part of being like, I'm gonna take more notes this time, we're starting over in my game on my iPad. We are already at the quote-unquote second gym, basically. The saves do sync up via the cloud, but for the sake of any of y'all who are trying to follow along with me and not be confused by the crazy sentence structures, I figured I'd restart. And also for the sake of taking notes. Some of the early lessons are like easy peasy. The first one I did off stream, so you guys would have to see it. It's literally just learning Tanaka-san desu. I am Tanaka, or this is Tanaka. But yeah, I figured I wanted to change things up a little bit today, so here we are. It's the immigration form paperwork. This won't actually help Freed, who is planning on going to Japan this summer, as he shared yesterday. I should ask a Japanese-speaking person in the area for help. I imagine they would have English versions of the form. Because, you know, this is immigration, but what do I know?
Mari desu.
Mari desu. Oh yeah, fun thing is as you go through the game, more and more of the default stuff in the menu becomes in Japanese. Like, all of the quest log changes to be in Japanese as well.
Ho 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 desu.
Yeah,
Ho
so
ho ho desu.
the San's there to trick you. You don't refer to yourself as San. That's why, like, the whole, like, anime characters calling themselves Ore-sama is, like, so, like, frickin', like, what the heck, you weirdo? Because, I mean, most people don't actually use Ore IRL, apparently, but giving yourself an honorific is just the height of being stuck up your own butt. Thanks! You speak very well Nihongo Jozud already. Let's fill it in together.
Hajimemashite.
Oh, yeah, this one I don't need to write down. Hajimemashite. So the kanji for the haji is for first. It's also, fun fact, it's also the hatsu in Hatsune Miku. Because, you know, kanji can be read multiple different ways.
Hajimemashite.
Yeah. Hajimemashite.
Ka?
Oh, yes. The very confusing particle. At the start, it's not confusing. Because they just... It's like, oh yeah, it's just in use to place in a question mark. And then later on, they're like, by the way, it can also be used in lists. If you feel like being extra confusing. Nice to meet you. Are you Mrs. Tanaka? Hajimemashite. Tanaka-san desu ka?
Tanaka-san desu ka?
Tanaka is a super common
Hajimemashite.
Japanese surname, but I keep thinking of the
Tanaka-san desu
Haikyuu
ka?
character. There's also Tanaka-kun is listless again today, but I always just think of Ryu in Haikyuu. One of the few boys in shonen manga that actually gets the girl. It's crazy. He's not even like the protagonist. There you go. If you're traveling through Takamatsu, pay a visit to my friend Saeki at the library. She's an expert in linguistics and, yes, the kanji decks. Not to be confused with the Pokedex. A new lesson section, yes. So you can review the stuff. Can also be ran Hajime Mashite. Can also be Hajime Mashite. Yeah. I knew. Ah, yes. The freaking Kana minigame. I never do that one. Because I already know all my kanji and hiragana.
Hajimemashite.
Little review section. Hajimemashite.
Hajimemashite.
Tanaka-san desu
desu
ka?
ka?
Yippee! I'm an expert. Alright.
外国人
Gaigokujin. So this is the line for foreigners. Gaigokujin is the word for foreigner. There is also gaijin, but that is considered a really, like, that's borderline like a slur. So if anyone ever calls you a gaijin, that's an insult. Let them have it. It literally means a person from outside the country or like person from another country. So. Welcome to Japan. Thank you. And the floor mat here, it's nihonjin. So Japanese people. They get their own separate line. Everyone else into the foreigner section. That is how it actually works at immigration, though. Hi, John. I have some time to practice my Japanese. I suspect the border police officer is speaking in Japanese. Nah, I mean, in England, in real life, you want people who are bilingual working immigration, but whatever.
はじめましてジョンです
Hajimemashite.
て
Diana
ほほ
des.
です
Here are my notes to get through immigration. Are they actually helpful? Are they?
ではありません
Oh, yes, de wa arimasen. It's the negative form of death, which you never hear about. Technically, the game is being incorrect, but they're simplifying it because there's, this is technically the formal negative. There is a negative informal, which is desnai. So you use de wa arimasen in like to be more formal in the sentence. So it's like just saying des is neutral. That would be like a yes kind of thing. Desnai is negative, casual, and de wa arimasen is negative formal, basically. But yeah, for the sake of simplicity, yeah, see, here we go, like past polite plain others.
ではありません
De wa arimasen. To make things extra confusing sometimes, this guy, this is ha. But sometimes, depending on the context, it turns into wa. That's why it's de wa arimasen, not de ha arimasen. And that's why it's konnichiwa, not konnichiha. Why it changes that way, I don't know. They haven't explained that yet. Maybe they never will. Mari de wa arimasen. I am not
マリではあり
ready.
はい
Hi. Hi. I think everyone knows this one.
はい
はい
いいえ
Yeah. Fun fact, if it's ie, but there's only one I, that means house. So there's ie and ie.
いいえ
Ie. Eh?
は
Hi.
い
Ie.
いいえ
Good luck, buddy. Oh, you're letting me cut the line? Aren't you nice? Hello. Can you show me your passport? This would have been a great opportunity to teach us the Japanese word for passport, but they don't take it. Customs officer challenges you. Yeah, these are like the battles. They come at you with the questions on a timer. Tanaka-san de wa arimasen. Hajimemashite. Tanaka
で
desu.
すはい
Hi.
はい
はじめまして田中さんですか
はじめまして
Hajimemashite,
田中さ
Tanaka-san
んで
desu
す
ka?
か
Are you Tanaka-san? We want
いいえ
san.
い
I
い
eh. So the full sentence, ie Tanaka-san de wa arimasen. I'm not Tanaka. I just realized some of y'all don't read the kana, so me just filling in the answer and not explaining the question? Oops. I do this to Iduna too. I sent her something earlier today, and it was talking about otome games. And I'm like, damn, Paco Sensei, the artist, is based. He knows about these. And she's like, I don't know what those are. It's like, oh. You don't have encyclopedic knowledge of visual novels? Whoops. There we go. I accidentally misclicked. Look for my red suitcase, great. Picking one of the most common colors for suitcases. Oh my god, the trash can. It's taunting us. Clemence? Maybe I'll even fly out of Takamatsu Airport. Small airport, but international flights land here too. Yeah, Takamatsu, where the game starts, is on one of the 4 main islands in Japan, but it's one of the smaller islands, so it has a separate airport because it's far enough away from Tokyo. Someone left a note here. I know who has your suitcase, Sakata. Well, damn, thanks. You didn't stop him from taking my suitcase?
はじめまして、坂田です。
And there he is. Hajimemashite, Sakata desu. I found your note. First, let's talk a little Japanese. Hajimemashite.
ほほほさん
Ah, crap. See, I misclicked.
はじめましてほほほです
You get so used to sticking san after every proper noun. Hi.
日本
Now you're going to learn your first kanji word. Nihon. It's sun and book is nihon. Technically it's nihon, but for whatever reason I'm butchering that pronunciation terribly.
におん
行きます
Ikimasu. Dictionary form is iku. Ikuzo! Anyone who's watched any shonen anime knows this one too.
いき
Ikimasu.
日本
Nihon.
行きま
Ikimasu.
すに
Ni. Ah, okay, this one I actually need to write. The particles that I don't know as well. Because I learned ka and no a long time ago. No is possessive. It's like, is or like apostrophe. Ka is the question mark. Everything else is like, I don't even know. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry if I bumped the mic at some point. Like I said, I've run out of desk space already. Rep my life. I guess if I write flat, it'll be better, but also neck strain. Sometimes there's no reading. Sometimes there's no winning. That's me. Particle used to mark a destination. Do any of y'all read cursive? Cause y'all in it for a bad time. Not well? Oh, well, yeah, you're in for a bad time, my good child. Can you even tell what I wrote? All my teachers hated my handwriting. Iduna has beautiful frickin' calligraphy like cursive. I've got this frickin' goblin chicken scratch. Apparently, that's a super common issue for left-handed people. Iduna's husband is also a lefty, and he also has the forbidden chicken scratch. I think something about the way English is formed, like written form, and how you're supposed to hold the utensil, the writing implements and stuff, makes it, what's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, the way you're taught how to hold your pen and pencil and stuff doesn't actually work well when you're left-handed. I can make my writing nicer, but it's straight up like I'm holding everything in a very strange way to make it work. Chicken crash? Yeah, chicken scratch. Can make out a good chunk of the letters, but hard to put together. Yeah, it's ni particle used to mark a destination. But I mean, that's the thing, right? These are my personal study notes. No one really needs to understand them but me. But I know a lot of y'all who are younger wouldn't know cursive because they don't really teach it in school anymore. Me being in school in the 90s was probably one of the last people who did. Howdy buds. Hi, Nexon. Welcome to class. Not really, but... Followed by a state verb. A state verb, huh? What if it's an unstately verb? What then, huh? Alright. The particle used to mark a destination. Action. Verb. So, Tokyo ni ikimasu. Yeah, there we go. There's an example right there. Nihon ni ikimasu. So I will go to Japan. Or location if followed by a state verb. Article used. How are you? Good! Just for this stream, we are putting together... I am working on some Japanese studying, so this was kind of decided to be like half study time, half like you guys can learn with me kind of thing. It can be pretty hard to pick up on handwriting quirks for cursive. If it's pretty traditional school cursive, I can usually do well enough. Fair enough. Also, you want to know the craziest thing? Technically, Japanese has cursive as well. from back when they wrote using brushes. So there was a form of cursive to make it so the sentences flowed together. Yeah. So it's in like historical documents and stuff. You cannot even tell that they are like kanji and stuff like that. Apparently it is like quickly becoming a lost art. Cause yeah, like in American and like Canadian schools, like you could probably find someone in their like 30s, 40s, 50s who know cursive. Japan, I think, would have stopped using cursive back in like the 1800s. So it's been like 100 years since anyone's written this stuff. So yeah, you're losing it. But like it made sense because if you lifted the brush for every word, it would get the paper would get covered in ink spots and stuff. So it makes sense that you want to write as much as you can with a single stroke so the paper stays legible. Let's see. Yeah. I will go to Japan. Will you go to Japan? Basically, same sentence. Nihon ni ikimasu ka?
Takamatsu.
And then that's the city, Takamatsu. So the kanji is for tall and pine tree. Takamatsu. For those of y'all who just watched our Haruhi Suzumiya watch along, there's a voice actor, Tomokazu Sugita. The Matsu part here is similar. It's a type of tree, right? You see trees a lot in Japanese names. In this case, Sugita. The Sugi is for a cedar tree, if I'm remembering right.
Takamatsu.
Takamatsu. Yeah, a lot of Japanese names could be nature stuff, like Shiraishi, the voice actor that's been in Lucky Star. His name means white stone. Izumi, like Konata Izumi, is spring, like a water spring. Hiragi, which is the surname for Tsukasa and Kagami, it is also a type of tree. I can't remember what tree it is off the top of my head, but it is also a tree name. Here's a clue to find out who has your suitcase.
花さんです。
Hana-san. Hana-san! Sumimasen! Hana-san! Oh, I was learning how you put together a sentence in a way that makes sense for a native speaker. Hana-san wakarimasu? Do you know Hana-san? Because they were saying it's like, oh, yeah, you can, like, in this case, it's like, oh, because most people will say, like, sumimasen, eki wa doku desu ka? Where's the train station? But someone was pointing out, I'm like, okay, but this is a little too direct. It works, but it's a little too direct, and that's because you're assuming this person also knows the way to the train station. So their suggestion was sumimasen, eki wa wakarimasu ka? It's like, do you know where the train station is? In that case, wanting to know the location is implicit. Because a lot of stuff in Japanese is just based on context, and they never actually say stuff overtly. So in that case, you can eliminate the doko. Because if you're asking about the train station, it is probably pretty clear you're asking where it is. And you can just go like, sumimasen, eki ga wakarimasen, or wakarimasu. I can't remember the exact sentence, but I'm like, that makes sense. But what the heck? Because I guess if we're gonna, eki wa doku desu ka is like almost a 1v1 translation of where is the station in English. But I mean, it also makes sense, because I mean, sure, there will be people you run into in the city here in English who are like, hey, where's the train station? But I feel like most people would naturally go like, do you know where the train... It's like, do you know where the train station is? Or something like that. So it makes sense that even in Japanese, they're like, that is too direct, man. Ah, yes, the focus tests. I try and go through one of these every day. Nihon
日本
ni ikimasu ka?
日本に行きます
Nihon
日本
ni
に行きます
Yippee! Oh yeah, and then there's all the kana. Hajimemashite, Tanaka
田中
san desu
desu
ka?
ka?
Nihon desu.
desu.
This is Japan.
田
Tanaka
中
Tanaka desu.
desu.
Hi,
はい 田中
Tanaka
desu.
desu. Tanaka-san desu.
ですはじめまして田中ですはじめまして
Tanaka
田中
desu.
です
The name Tanaka itself, going back to the nature things, it means rice paddy field. The ta is for rice paddy, naka is inside, basically. So yeah, in the rice paddy, basically. Oops. There we go. Nihon desu.
日本
So this is Japan. Ikimasu ka?
行き
Are
ま
you
す
going? Yippee! So we need to find Hana-san.
はじめまして、ジェイミーです。
Hi, Jamie. I'm really looking forward to visiting the Ritsurin Garden in Takamatsu. The Ritsurin Garden is said to be one of the most beautiful gardens in Japan. Have you seen a red
Yeah.
suitcase? Yeah. Hi. Sumimasen. I didn't... You don't say thank you, you say I'm sorry for existing.
はじめまして、
That's Nakai.
中井です。
Nakai desu.
鎌田さんは高松に行きます。
Kamata-san is going to Takamatsu. So Kamata, I imagine, is that person standing there. Have you seen
Yeah.
this red suitcase? Yeah.
はじめま
Yeah,
して
Kamata. There we go. Hajimemashite.
鎌田です高松に行きます
Have you seen a red
Yeah.
suitcase? Yeah. Sumimasari! Sumimasari! Oh god, what were some of the other hilarious ones? Robert, hi! I've landed a job at Bitsimishi in Takamatsu. Want to hear my introduction in Japanese? Hi!
はじめまして、ロバートです。
Roberto desu. What a lovely deep voice you have, Roberto. はじめまし
はじめま
て
してほほほー
です。
私は日本人ではありません。
I am not Japanese.
ほほほーさんは日本人ですか？
日本
日本
人ではあり
ではありま
ません。
せん
So in this
日本人で
case,
はありません
you could say like watashi wa nihonjin de wa arimasen. Still technically grammatically correct, but Japanese tends to eliminate the subject when it's obvious. So obviously you're talking about yourself, so you can get away with not using watashi.
はじめまして、ヴィンセントです。
Going to begin teaching computer science at Takamatsu University! Hey!
いいえ、
Well, well, well.
7です
This. Oh, she doesn't speak any English, I guess. Occupied! Occupied! Eh! Oops, what the heck was... I knocked something over somewhere, moving my leg. I can't tell what, though. Everything's pitch black under my desk, obviously. So all I heard was a thud, and I'm like, Because there's shelves under my desk, so sometimes I bump something. But I can't tell what I knocked over.
はじめまして花です
Ah, we finally found her. Have you seen a red suitcase? Hi. Continue. Was that your suitcase? Shoot! I just gave it to someone who'd lost his. Who was it again? Dot, 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 dot.
日本人
Nihonjin.
に
Nihonjin.
は
Wah! Wah! Inago wah! Can be translated as for. It is used to state where you are going to add information, what you are going to add information about. It is emphasizing what comes after it. As the topic particle. Ah. Okay, that makes more sense. Like, that's not how you... There we go. Topic. Particle. State what you... I guess you are describing. Rather than just copying it blindly, I try and summarize the notes in a new way so I can understand it better. State what you are. I guess talking about is a good way to say it as well. About oops. Sizes. What comes after? So they're like subject, object, verb. So Subject. Wa. Topic. Yeah, there we go. Topic wa and then sentence. Whoops, that is a highlighter, not my eraser. There we go. Topic. A sentence. There we go. We'll go to Japan. Tanaka-san wa
は
Nihon ni ikimasu.
行きます。田中さんは日本に行きます。
So wa, because we're saying. So topic is Tanaka-san. What's Tanaka-san doing? She's going to Japan. And ni is marking the location. Where she is going.
私は
Hang on. I might as well write it a sentence so I can break it down. Tanaka-san wa Nihon ni ikimasu. Hey, my Japanese handwriting's getting better. Yippee! That's another reason to learn the stroke order of stuff. It makes it easier to read people's handwriting as well. Because since it's a standardized way of forming the letters, even if someone's kanji, writing is kind of messy, ideally the kanji will all look somewhat similar no matter what. No, that is way too big. Do, do, do. Sentence is about Tanaka. And that's the rest of the sentence. Tanaka. Now Tanaka. What about Tanaka? They are going to Japan. There we go.
私
Watashi! The number one pronoun. What?
わ
Ta-shi. And one of the few times they actually use wa and not ha.
日本人。私。香川。
Kagawa. Kagawa Ken. Kagawa Prefecture. Apparently, this game was actually endorsed by the prefectural government in Kagawa, which is kind of cool. So this is Fragrant River is the kanji.
香川。
かがわ
Nihongo Jozo desu. Yeah. Mada dane. Here's a clue to find out who has your
日本
suitcase.
人ではありません。
Cool. Here's a clue to find your suitcase. They're not a Japanese person in a place filled with tourists. Cool. That's helpful. Hi, I'll tell you how to use the quest menu. No, thank you. Now I'm breaking everything because I know it's this guy. What a dirty liar. We asked him if he's seen a red suitcase and he said no.
はじめまして、ヴィンセントです。
Vincent-san wa
は
Nihonjin desu ka? Is this
ヴィンセントさんは
blonde
日本人
computer
ですか？
science guy Japanese?
日本人ではありません。
Have you seen a suitcase? Ha! Is this your suitcase? I like it, the text shaking. Yikes, I must have made a mistake. Mine's exactly the same and I've lost it too. This is why you're supposed to put tags and stuff on your suitcase. Mama and Papa and Melis like to make fun of my suitcase because I got a hard case that's like pastel, pink, and blue. Let me tell you, no one's ever accidentally taken my suitcase. And I can see it on the conveyor belt from a mile away. Well, here's your suitcase. Sorry! To make it up to you, I can teach you a little trick about sentence construction. Hi. Apparently, we've got a glare of 1,000 suns. Word order, SOV, subject, object, verb. Unlike English, which uses the subject-verb order. Can be very flexible in Japanese, typically found at the beginning, but may also be placed in the middle or omitted. It's my suitcase, finally! My map of Japan is still inside, because you know you can't just go to a frickin' bookstore and get another one. The game's not fully complete, but apparently we'll be going to all the different, colored sections. Because it's like, what, 8 gems or something like that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where is it? Watashi.
私。
Tanaka-san wa
は
Nihon ni ikimasu.
日本人ですか？
Nihon
人
desu
ですか？
Yay! Alright. Now to do the boss fight. Talk to security guard.
日本人ですか
Nihonjin desu ka? Nihonjin de wa arimasen. I am not Japanese. May I see your suitcase? No! Hi. Omawari-san is what it said. It went by too fast, but yeah, in Japan, you call, a police officer Omawari-san. It's basically like calling them officer. The kanji for it comes from mamoru, which is to protect.
Hi.
はい
田中です。
We sure are not Tanaka, but whatever. 日本に行きます。
行きます。
行きます。日本に行きます。私は日本人ではありません。I am not Japanese. He is not Tanaka-san.
田中
さん
さん
ではあり
ではあり
ません。
ません。
行きますか ?Are you going? 日本人です。日本人。
日本
I misread it. Shit.
田中
さんは
は
日本に
行
行きます。
いいえ
いいえ。Common suffix sound. はじめまして。Cry! 2 stars on such a simple thing. Whatever. Oops. I'm not gonna fuss too much, because this is my alt account. This isn't my main. So, well, you know, whatever. So in this format, Deiguchi. Take out and exit. The kanji, the square one, that's also the kanji for mouth. So it's the leaving mouth, basically. Takamatsu Airport Bus Station.
はじめまして、ベンです。日本人ではありません。愛理さんは日本人です。
You have such a deep voice, Ben-san.
はじめまして愛理です。日本人でベンさんは日本人ではありません。
はじめまして、石井です。
Ishii desu.
日本人です。
日本人です。はじめまし
はじ
て。
めましてほほほです。
So he's saying,
はじ
I'm
めまして
Japanese.
ほほほです。
日本人ですか？
日本人ではありません。
ではありません。
I am not
高松
Japanese.
に行きますか？
はい。We're going to Takamatsu.
よろしくお願いします。
Yes, everyone knows this one. Yorishiku onegaishimasu. Standard introduction. Hajimemashite. Your name, desu. Yorishiku onegaishimasu.
よろしくお願いします。
Yoroshiku o ne gai shi ma su. You can find bus information at the information desk. Yippee!
私は丸亀に行きます。
So you're going to Marugame. I've been waiting for ages for the bus, though. I wonder if it would be quicker to walk here. I guess that depends how far or close it is. So this is Annai Show information, I believe. The first kanji is kind of squished and hard to make out, but the rest is inside uchi and basho. Well, technically it's sho, but you see it in basho, which is place.
高松に行きますか？
Hi, we're going to Takamatsu.
本
Home, book,
お
home.
No.
No. This one I won't write down because I know this one already very well. Nihon
日本
no hon desu
です
ka?
か？日
Is
本
it a
の
book
本
about
バス
Japan? Bustle! Ah, yes. Katakana. I can't remember if there's an actual Japanese word for bus or bus just became more common. Yeah, more angular, yada yada
バ
yada.
ス
A bus.
す
On.
本
Basu.
さぬき
Sanuki. Not to be confused with tanuki. Sanuki can also be written in kanji saneki. The key here is branch? I don't know what the sane is. Excuse me while the sound cuts off while I look this up. Sanuki. Do 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 do. Former province located present-day Kagawa. Praise is the sane. Ah. And then, yes, the gi is for branching off. Like a fork in the road. Okay. Not like a tree branch. The other kind of branch.
さぬき
Sanuki.
高松に行きますか？
高松
Ni. Ikimasu.
高松のバスはバス3です。
Bus number 3. Arigatou gozaimasu. Wakarimashita. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ringo. Ah, yes. Ringo Star. They offer hot and cold coffee or tea, corn soup. The Asians love their corn soup. Hi. I'm completely lost and don't speak a word of Japanese. You can speak Japanese? I have to go to Sanuki. Can you tell me which bus to take? Sure. What's going on in the vending machine? And it's really cheap. I wonder what the CC orange tastes like. Sounds ominous as heck.
高松に行きますか？
Poru-san wa Sanuki ni ikimasu.
讃岐のバスはバス2です。
Wakarimashita. Arigatou gozaimasu.
バス
That's Ichi. So literally you were right inside of the bus, bruh. Thanks a lot! Speaking Japanese seems to be a must here. Nah. I have a Japanese book with me. Can we look over a few points together? Hi!
き
Ki. It's tree. That I knew. Ki.
家
Yeah, like I said, it's ie. It's no, but with only one e. Ie.
き家います
Imas. To exist, to be used for living things. For non-living things, it's shimas?
「います」
います
Or no, arimas. For non-living things, it's arimas. Tanaka-san wa
は
nihon
日本
ni imasu ka?
田中さんは
So is she in
日本に
Japan?
います
Not is she going to
あります
Japan. Is she already here? Arimas. Yes, there we go. Non-living.
あります
Arimasu. Watashi
私
no 本は
は家
家にあります。
あります。
Yippee!
私の本は家にあります。
The sentences are already starting to get a little complex. It's not too bad though. It was really interesting. Thanks a lot. Shall we meet again in Sanuki? Sure.
はじめまして。さぬきに行きますか？
Takamatsu ni
行
ikimasu.
きます。
Eh? I guess so.
Sanuki.
Apparently we want to say we're going to Sanuki for this one.
に行きます。
Great.
私の本です。
This is my book. Could you bring it to Nagata?
ありがとうございます。中田さんの家はさぬきにあります。
I assumed his house was in Sanuki because you were asking if we were going there.
高松に行きます。
That is Saki.
私の家は高松にあり
Her
ます。
house is in Takamatsu.
高松に行きますか？
Are we going? Yes. But first to battle! Bus driver challenges you. Select the word. Nihon.
日本に行きます。
Nihon
日本に
ni
行きます。
ikimasu.
バス。
Bus.
す
Money. ではありません。
ではありません。
日本
日本人
人です
です
か？
か？
本
うん
よろしくお願いします。
いいえ。
いえ。Are you going? 行きますか？はじめまして。はい。I'm Tanaka. It is Tanaka's book. No. Tanaka's son ではありません。Yippee!
高松に行きますか？
はい。
行きましょ
Get on the bus! This totally isn't Route 1 in Pokemon. There's no similarities in the OST. You're just hearing things.
う。高松。
Takamatsu is that way. Yokoso to Kagawa, the smallest prefecture in Japan. How small is it? Don't miss our delicious noodles. Akita. Kiwa.
はい。香川に木があります。
Kagawa has trees. Congratulations. The cutest stock cat sound in existence.
香川にいます。
Kagawa ni imasu. So you're in Kagawa.
高松は香川にあります。
And Kagawa, yep.
はじめまして。佐々木です。
Sasaki desu. Hajimemashite.
はじめまして。ほほほ
Ho desu.
です。
Yoroshiku
よろしくお願いし
onegaishimasu.
ます。よろしくお願いします。本があります。
Hon ga arimasu. Sasaki-san no hon
で
desu
す
ka?
か？
Is it your book?
佐々木さんの本ですか？
So she's like, there's a book here. Well, is it your book? Basically,
私の本です。
it is her book.
リンさんの本ではありません。
It is Rin's book.
が、
Oh, this one. This one I'm starting to get, but it still confuses me now and again. It is very similar. I always thought it was similar to wa, but not quite. That is terrible looking. Hi, Butter! Welcome in! Hope you're doing well. What you working on? Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. I'm studying Japanese. So in the upper left is a game I've been playing that helps teach you Japanese, and then everything else is my notes I've been taking. Sokka, sokka. Ai, so desu ka? Ah, no, that's wrong. Ah, so desu ne. There we go. So yeah, I've just been treating it as like a work-alone stream. And I'm yapping around occasionally, so you guys can learn with me. So, particle that defines the subject of the sentence, what the sentence is about. It emphasizes and insists on what comes before ga. Defined as the particle indicating the subject. Not to be confused with wa, which is stating what you're talking about. So wa is not necessarily going to be used for the subject of a sentence, but ga absolutely is. Amoshiroi! Yokatta! I'm glad to hear it. Whoops, that's a little too beefy. Particle that defines the subject. Tanaka-san ga Nihon ni ikimasu. Will go to Japan, so subject ka sentence. Nihon. Yeah, it's this way. Nihon. Jin. Ga. Imasu. In Japan, there are Japanese people. Pretends to be shocked. Alright. So. So, subject is Nihonjin. Or I guess technically the Japanese people in Japan, but sentence. So that's the rest of the sentence after the ga. It's just imas, which is exist. And nihoni. And ni is for denoting a location. So, yeah, and that's why. In this case, I guess you could treat nihon ni as like an adverb kind of thing. It's not directly the noun, but it's supporting the subject / noun. Okay, nihon ni. Tales of subject. So, sentence about A, the Japanese, and B, where they are. Nihon に日
日
本
本人
が
が
いま。
います日本犬
犬バウバウ
いぬ
猫
猫こん猫大好き
猫
テーブル
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 る
テーブル猫犬
Kafka on the Shore. Ah, yes. Haruki Murakami. I read that book. Part of the story is even set in Takamatsu. Yeah, what is the subject again of Kafka on the Shore? He runs away from home because of some bad situation, and he ends up working as a librarian in Takamatsu.
本があります。
本があります。リンさんの本ですか？
か
佐々
Is
木
it
さん
your
の本
book?
です。
It's Sasaki's book.
私の本ではありません。
My book is it here.
どこ
どこ？ Ah, yes. どこ？そこ and ここ。
どこ
どこ
ここ
ここ Close to the speaker.
ここ
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 そこ
そこ There, close to the listener. そこ。
あそこ
And asoko is just, it's far away from everyone. So koko is here, which means like closer to the speaker. Soko is closer to the listener, so the person you're talking with. And asoko is, it's just over on the other side of the room.
あそこ
あ
So
そ
cool. Da.
ど
Doko?
こ
Where is it?
ここ
Koko? It's here. It's
そこ
there. Oh, crap.
あそこそこ
佐々木さんの本はあそこです。私の本ではありません。私の本はどこですか？
He's like, where's my book? I'll have you checked your
佐々木
house.
さんの本です私の猫はどこですか
Aki, where's my
よろし
cat?
くお願いします
Quest. Aki-san no neko wa doko desu ka? Gotta find Aki's cat. Nya? Neko. Nyang. Bring Aki's cat back. Oh, that was convenient.
ありがとうございますはじめまして秋です
Hajimemashite!
コンビニ
Konbini! Everyone's favorite store.
コンビニ
Kon. Oh, it's in katakana. Kon.
に
Bini.
に
駅
Keki is the station.
き
公園
Koen is the park. Public garden is what the kanji for that is. Which makes sense. Ko. En.
図書館
Toshokan is the library.
図書館
Toshiokan.
かん
The kanji for this library is a pain in the butt. I learned it at some point. I don't remember it very well, though.
図書館
Ah, crap.
図書館駅 公園、コンビニ。私の猫はここにいます。
My cat is
あ
here.
りがとうございます。
You're welcome.
はじめまして。カンタです。
Kanta desu.
私の犬はルルです。
Lulu! The pupper is Lulu. Wanna play a little with Lulu? Hi! Lulu! Want?
私の犬はどこですか？
Asoko desu. Where's my dog? Lulu! Want.
私の犬はどこですか？
Asoko desu. Lulu! Want.
私の犬はどこですか？
Koko desu. Well done! One. Ruru wa doko desu ka? Play with Ruru is the achievement I just got. It's a lot of fun for Ruru.
高松に図書館があります。
Sakai?
佐伯さんは高松の図書館にいます。
So Saeki is in Takamatsu's library. I've heard she's working on a tool called kanji decks. Why is there a book?
本です。
Home! It's a book! The lost book. Find the book's owner.
佐々木さんの本は私の本ではありません。私の本はどこですか？
Rin-san no hon desu ka?
ありがとうござい
Is
ま
this
す。
your book?
私の本はここにあります。
Now my book's here. To thank you, here's a little lesson about Japanese. Arigato gozaimasu! Subject and topic. Ga versus wa. Ah, there we go. Ga emphasizes the word that comes before it. Like that. Wa/ha, however, emphasizes what comes after. Emphasizes what comes after. Like that. Can also be, the topic can also be the grammatical subject, which makes sense. It is used to define the broad topic of a paragraph. So ga is specificity and wa is generalist, is another way, I guess. Do. General emphasis. This is specific. Where did my word go? Whoops. Color wheel, please. Thank you. Tanaka-san wa
は
nihonjin
で
desu.
す。
Nihon
に
ni
います。 田中さんは日本人です。日本にいます。
Big stretch. On top of the house, there is a cat. Yeah.
家
No.
の
Ue
上
ga neko ni
い
imasu.
ます。
Oh, gotta swap them around. Right, because the cat's the subject. Yeah. No. Naka. Or. Yeah. Ue, rather. Ue is up.
に
Ni. Neko ga
います。
imasu. Off the beaten path. Complete one side quest. Yippee! The road less taken. Hey, it's our rival! This piece of shit. Diana! Oh, look who decided to show up in Japan. You've been on the plane with us this whole time, brah. We went to the same school a few years ago. Remember my name? Sure, you can be Josh. Alright, we're going to speak Japanese now.
はははです。
Hahaha, yes.
日本人ではありません。
We're to get around putting text to speech and everything. The protagonist is ho 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 des, which is laughter, and then your rival is ha 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 des.
よろしくお願いします。
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Konbini. Nihon no ki desu. So Japanese tree. That is Toshokan. It's a library. Tanaka-san wa
は
Nihon ni
います
imasu ka?
か
Is she in Japan? Tashi no ie wa
こ
so
そ
cool desu is over there. My cat is there, close to the listener. So cool. Watashi no hon wa
は
doko
で
desu
す
ka?
か
Where is my book? Tanaka-san no neko desu.
私の本は家にあります。
Watashi
私
no
の
hon.
家私の本は家にあります。
That's what I thought. What?
は
No. No, watashi no hon wa ie ni
あり
arimasu.
ます。
My book is at home. Japan, there are Japanese people.
日
Nihon
本
ni
日
nihon
本人
ga
い
imasu.
ます。
Eki. We're going to the station. That is table. That is ie. It's our house. Here, close to the speaker, koko. Watashi no, inu. Koen. Earn 3 stars in your first challenge against your rival. Yippee! Teach a good rival a good lesson. Whoops. You're not even in my league. I know all hiragana and 100 Japanese words already. Well, I know 150. Okay. I'll beat the Japanese Grand Master before you even reach his castle. Smell you later. He's so freaking Gary. What a clown. Do, And now we are in Takamatsu.
はじめまして。ここは高松です。
Takamatsu desu.
高松
Tall pines all around. That's the name of the town. Tall Pine.
はじめまして。太郎です。
They see you across the way and it's on site. Time to conversationalize.
はじめま
Hajimemashite.
して
Diana
ほほほ
desu.
です
高松にいます。
Hi. We are indeed in Takamatsu.
上
Ue on top of. Ue.
下
Shita. Below. Shita.
中
Naka. Inside. Naka.
外
Soto. Outside. Soto. Also, the kanji that's used in Gaikokujin is this one. The outside one.
外中上
Oops. Misclick.
上下
Let me take you on a little tour of Takamatsu. Yoroshiku
行きましょ
onegaishimasu.
う。
Ikimashou! Let's go.
ここは高松です。
This is Takamatsu.
高松に公園があります。
Takamatsu has a park.
公園に行きます。
Let's go to the park.
立林公園はあそこです。
Mitsuin Koen is over there. So everyone's blocking the way.
高松のコンビニはここです。
This is where the kombini is.
ここは高松の図書館です。
This is the
図書
library.
館の中に佐伯さんがいます。 ここは高松駅です。
This is the station. There are stations in all 47
私
prefectures.
の家に行きます。
I'm going to my house. All right, let's go to my house, I guess.
ここは私の家です。
This is my house.
あそこ、さぬきが
And
あり
that's
ま
the way
す。
to Sanuki. Sanuki udon is my favorite. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Ask about the Japanese Grandmaster. I've never heard of him. My big sister might know more.
さきです。
Saki desu.
さきは私の家の中にいます。
So she's in the
私の
house.
家はここにあり
My
ます。
house is here.
さきと太郎の家へようこそ
Welcome to their house, cute. Quit the game? No! I just wanted to open a menu for a second. I'm gonna get something to drink quickly. It's probably gonna be a shorter stream than usual anyway, because I have to wake up early, because I have a doctor's appointment. Yay! So that means, like, you know, getting to the office a little bit earlier so I can make up the time I'm technically taking off to go to the doctor's. Alright. So give me un momento. And we'll be right back. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. And whee! Alright, I'm back. One sec. Whee! Ugh. Saki-san.
はじめまして。さきです。
はじめ
は
まして。
じめまして。
ダイアナ
ほほほ
で。
ですす。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。太郎はどこにいますか？
太郎さんは家
家
の外
外
にい
い
ま。
ます
He's
太郎さ
outside
ん
the
は
house.
家の外にいます。太郎は外にいます。
はい。
こんにちは。こんにちは。
こんにちは。
Oops.
は
おはようございます。
おはようございま
お
す。
はようございます。
おは
は
よ
い。
Whoops. よ
う
ござ
ざ
い
い
ま
ます
こんばんは。
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 That's good evening. こんばんは。
わわ
こんにちは。おはようございます。こんばんは。
ありがとうございます。
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 ありがとう
う
ございまます。
またね。
おかえり。はい、ただいま。ありがとう。またね。The sentence that frickin' traumatized the entirety of the Honkai Star Rail fandom. またね、また明日。
またね。
ま
ま
たね。
ね
ありがとうございます。またね。
Nihongo Josu yet again. Ooh, hello, Art. Konbawa. You got the egg. Congratulations. Ask about the Japanese Grandmaster. We recently moved to Takamatsu. Sakata is the oldest resident here, so perhaps he knows more.
坂田さんは坂田さんの家にいます。
He's in his house. Color me surprised.
坂田さんの家の外に犬がいます。
His house has a dog outside. Well, thank God there's only one house in this entire village that has a dog. Wan! It's BB. This is actually really cool, right? It's literally just Pokemon. You're going around getting the Japanese Grandmaster seals, aka gym badges. Your rival says smell you later. It's fantastic. How does that do though, Didi? Pretty good, not bad. I'm already eepy though. So probably early to bed for me, but that's okay. I haven't been sleeping great since the whole med issue has been happening. But tomorrow I go to tomorrow morning is my doctor's appointment, so hopefully you got Adia. Very nice. Congratulations. 50-50 win, yippee! Surprisingly, it does happen 50% of the time. But I'm chish.
はじめまして、坂田です。
Sakata des. Oh, I remember you. Did you find your suitcase? Hi. She's insanely good for anomaly. She is. Oh, Yuzuha. Yes, she is. I mean, Vivian is also great for anomaly. I don't know how she works compared to Adia, but yeah. Yuzuha is specifically the support meant for anomaly characters. So anything that is hit by her mark will take increased anomaly damage. So yeah, you think Miyabi shreds now? Wait until you get Yuzuha. That's why when you were talking about that, it's like, oh, well, everything says, Sokaku is Miyabi's best support. I'm like, that is a lie. My Miyabi doesn't shred? She should, if you have good anomaly support. For anomaly party, you need 2 anomaly characters. I guess 3 technically, and 2 of them have to be a different element. Because if you ran just say physical anomaly, that's not gonna work because once an enemy takes damage from one type of anomaly, they will take weakened damage from that anomaly until the next trigger. So that's why you need to have... That's why, mono element teams, unless they are a mono... unless it's Soldier 11, Lighter, and Lucy or something like that. Unless it's monotyping to support an attack character. That's why most of the parties in ZZZ aren't monotyped. Because the way anomaly works, you do not want more than 2 people in a party with the same element. Unless you're doing a hyper carry. Works so well? Yes, I mean... It depends on the circumstances and on the characters. Miyabi is an anomaly character. She's not meant to be mono ice DPS. She's meant to help trigger massive bursts of damage from setting off anomalies. Because the only mono ice there is Ellen, Lycon, and Sokaku. And I mean, they were the early game go-to DPS, but that's because that's all there was. Anytime I have to break out that team, I notice a significant drop in damage than if I had just brought an anomaly team in to wipe the floor with them. ZZZ keeps trying to shift the meta away from anomaly. It doesn't actually work that well. It worked a little bit with rupture stuff. But anomaly's just too good. You have to make the enemies actually outright resist anomaly damage to nerf Miyabi. And it happens, but... This is conflicting info because a crap ton of videos are like Mono Ice is one of the best still. When were those videos posted? And who were the characters? Show me the receipts. We're stuck a little Japanese, okay. 'Cause Yugo is ice, but his whole thing is he does, but characters in Miyabi, Lycon, and Sokaku, oh god. They built her as a straight DPS, then, is the only way that would work. From a year? That is outdated shit. Anything older than 4 months is outdated as hell. Don't trust anything in a game with shifting meta that's older than 3 months. Because that's by the, especially a year old, because by then you have whole new classes of characters. Three months? At maximum 3 months. I wouldn't even say anything older than a month ago is probably outdated, but it depends what's come out in the interim. Because those videos were made when Miyabi didn't have anomaly support. And the only other DPS we had for Ice was Ellen, who only worked in very specific parties. Now Miyabi's tripping over anomaly support characters. So. And as much as I don't like Hugo, his whole gimmick is devastation. So he literally needs 2 stunty characters to work optimally. And then there's Yidhari, who is Ice Rupture. So she could also be Mono Ice, but that's because of Rupture. So she works great with Lycon and Xiao Xiao for the Ether Veil and the Stun. That is, I would argue, that is the current meta best Mono Ice. 7 months to weeks ago I lied? I don't trust those people. They talking bullshit. They must be min-maxing the hell. And back.
どこにいますか
Dokunimasu ka Sakata
坂田
san
さん
no ie
家
no naka
中
ni
に
imasu.
坂田さんの家の中にいます
I'm gonna just show you. Yeah, you can just drop it in the Discord. I'm gonna be wrapping up soon anyway, because I'm already eepy. Oh, the V2 builds? Yeah, they call it, potential? Because, yeah, Lycon just got a huge buff, and now he works completely different. So, I mean, it's possible with that support now that Miyabi could be a non-anomaly DPS. But also, why the hell would you do that when Anomaly's right there? Like, why are you shoving the square peg into the round hole just 'cause you can? Because, I mean, I would argue Miyabi's just stayed really consistent. Poor Anby has been buffed. This is her second or third time gain a buff since she's been released like a year ago. They had to, like, really overhaul her to keep up. Meanwhile, my Miyabi's still here where I'm like, I'm having a really hard time with this enemy, and I just throw her at it. And problem solved. Sakata-san no hon. So he's asking where his book is, and before he was asking where we are. Sakata-san no hon wa
テー
テーブ
ブル
ルの上にあります。
あります坂田さんの本はテーブルの上にあります
You're about to drop a Reddit-style video in the Discord? I can take it. I mean, those videos are always great. But I do, what's the word I'm looking for? For the gameplay, gotcha. I mean, yeah. I can show you my Miyabi when I log off stream. But yeah, it's... What's the word I'm looking for? Your Deadly Assault run? Ah, gotcha. I mean, I'm not fantastic at Deadly Assault either. I actually hate the gimmick because that... Deadly Assault is, like, terrible, in my opinion, for judging your team composition. Because getting an S rank hinges entirely on whether or not you can perfectly do whatever gimmick they want you to do. It's got very little to do with damage. Shiyu defense is much better for evaluating damage. Yeah, because, like, Deadly Assault, I struggle to get S ranks in because they're like, you have to trigger, dodge 6 times in 3 seconds. And I'm like, you're fucking insane. It's all stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, if you're really good at that stuff, one thing I've noticed, ZZZ, at least for me, and this might be because I have, somewhat poor hearing, but ZZZ relies heavily on you having headphones in and being able to hear the audio cues before you get the visual cue. I play everything with speakers when I'm not on stream, so I don't get that. Between that and my hearing problems. It's ableist! Once I had started using headphones, I noticed things were a lot better, and I'm like, oh, I hate this. I hate this. Speaking of, send me your speakers. Oh, God. They're garbage. They were, cheap-ass stuff from Amazon. And then Mogu and Pep have turned them into snacks. So now if I move them slightly wrong, all sound cuts out. I really should replace them. But I'm being cheap.
陽子の犬は木の下にいます。
Yoko no Inoa is under the tree. The forbidden celery. Yup.
陽子は駅の中にいます。
She's in the station. Okay.
よろしくお願いします。
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Alright. They want us to go to the station, but we'll wrap up here. This is my ult. My main account is technically much further in this game because I play on my iPad. But I was like, I want to be able to take notes without having to, like, switch between things on my iPad. So we're just gonna get it on PC and start a new account. Because, I mean, the saves do sync up, but I'm like, at least if I start at the beginning, it'll be easier for the beans to, keep up. Is that your handwriting? It is my handwriting! Oh no, hold on. Ha ha ha, yeah. This is my handwriting. It's a big old mess, I'm sorry. I know, problem. I have pretty handwriting? What? That's the first time anyone's ever complimented my handwriting. I am so shocked. You need to see mine, I know. I was gonna say, but also I don't have mechanical issues. But I swear to frickin' God, Iduna's handwriting looks like calligraphy. And like I said, no one has ever complimented my handwriting before. Everyone just instantly complains that it looks awful, so I tend to apologize before anyone even says anything, because I just assume something bad's coming. You can read that? Fair enough. Yay! I mean, I'm also left-handed, and I find being a lefty, it just naturally makes your handwriting messy, because the way they teach you in school to hold your pencil and stuff, it doesn't work nicely for left-handed people. Like, when I actually held pencils the way they wanted me to, my hands and, like, my arm would be covered in the graphite ink. Because if I actually hold the pen the way they want to, I'm dragging my hand through the ink and the pencil lead, versus right-handed people, you guys are technically ahead of the words. Left-handed people, we're smudging everything. So, like, as a left-handed person, I tend to write in a way so my wrist has a higher elevation. Like, it's more tilted up, so my hand doesn't get in the way of the ink and stuff. And then, of course, they're like, no, that's not the way you're supposed to write it. And then, of course, holding the pen differently makes the writing look different. Thought of that? That's wild. Oh, yeah! And also in school, I went through notebooks faster, like a spiral notebooks. Because it's like, you know, right-handed people, you can, like, get it in a way. You can squeeze more writing into that space. Left-handed people, we hit the bindings trying to fill in our sentence, and so we just jump to the next line. There aren't so many lefties. Yeah, we're an endangered species. It wasn't ever an evolutionary advantage. And I mean, even just at the beginning of this stream, I was complaining a lot as I was trying to find a way I could write. And then also have my microphone where it needs to be. Because I kept bumping the mic. I'm an evolutionary advantage? Aww. Hi to you guys, sweet. Alright, one sec. Let's hop on over to chatting. Whee! Adorable. But yes, tomorrow's break day, but if you see me screaming into the void, they announced a new Tales game. That's my prediction for like the whole, cuz Bandai Namco has been teasing a new game, and I'm like, that just looks like Tales of stuff. And Iduna, with her Hawkeye vision, she pointed out that if you look closely in the clouds in one of the scene, you can see a really tall pillar going upwards. So I was like, yes, it's the Sephiroth. Because most Tales of games have some kind of huge tower or something like that. So, like, all the pieces are coming together. It's all according to Keikaku. God. Fingers crossed for budgeting this month, because Fatal Frame remake comes out next week. Pokopia comes out tomorrow. But literally, I have $14 to my name, so we aren't getting Pokopia for until at least next week when I get paid. And then, Tales of Berseria just got remastered, which I want to download and play for you guys. I was joking about that with Iduna, because I'm like, I want to play Berseria, but I don't think chat can handle me going feral over my waifu, because Velvet is like one of my all-time favorites. female characters that like I thirst for. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. They can't even I'm like, I don't know, Judy. They can barely handle it when I swear. I don't know if it's like I don't know if they can handle this. You're here for it if no one else, really. Just no. Getting a Xeno for a while? Oh no. That's unfortunate, yeah. It would be nice if we get another Tales, even if this new game announcement isn't a new Tales game. It would be nice because Tales of Arise came out in 2021, so it's been 5 years. And the last Tales of Berseria came out like about 10 years before Arise, so like Iduna and I were just like, well, I guess that's it for the franchise. Berseria ends. It was a good run. It's been like, 20 years, whatever. There's a chance, but I'm never with your hopes up. It's better that way. Not so you can be disappointed, but so you can be massively excitedly surprised when like suddenly they're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's a new entry in this franchise you really love. 3 years? Oh, don't mean to downplay it, but in like JRPG, 3 years is nothing for waiting for a new installment. Look at how long we've been waiting for Persona 6. Iduna was getting married. Iduna wasn't married when Persona 5 came out. She has been married for like half a decade now. Like, I remember being at Iduna's wedding being like, oh my god, I just want to go home and play more Persona 5. And now I'm like, our friends are going to have children in elementary school by the time Persona 6 comes out. Dying in Kingdom Hearts, RIP, yeah, you know especially. Aw, man. We're all out here dying. We're all out here dying a very strong, very... We're all here to support each other. We're stacking each other up. Oh my god! Sorry. I was checking who to raid, and Lion is playing 999, and I was like, oh my god, someone else is playing that! One of my favorite games. Yes, Lion! Alright, we're gonna go say hi to the Lion. Is anyone good with numbers? I may still have the solutions to the puzzles memorized. I wouldn't be able to backseat for long because I'm really, really eepy. But you know... Oh, never mind, she's finishing up. Never mind! No! Womp, womp, womp. At least we found out before we, like, started. Alright. Let's see here. The only downside to following... You got another? Okay, go for it. Hit me. Because I was gonna say the one downside to a lot of friends, I like having a lot more streamers I'm acquainted with, is a lot of people are playing games that I want to play, or am playing, but I haven't got into, like, you know, that event in Genshin yet and stuff. So I'm like, where do I send people? I'm gonna have to start trolling through, like, trudging through the categories themselves looking for strangers. I can't believe it. Persona dancing all night or rigging? Ooh, rigging might be fun to watch. I've never watched someone do rigging. Now talking about Persona music, now I've got frickin' Persona music stuck in my head. Darn you, Shoji Meguro! What? You're a genius! But at what cost, my sanity? Princess Kuna, the Ray tax. Thank you for paying your taxes. Make sure you actually file them on time with your local government. Working on Rebridger. Ah, yes. The delightfulness. God. Rigging is frickin' magic. Because there's resources out there you can use to help you learn. And I tried, but it's like, it's straight up more complex type of animation. And I'm like, my brain broke. Like, I can do it, I can't get it smoothly. Because you have to, like, shift in, like, you know, like, pixel by pixel. If you goof, oof. I also don't have a computer tablet, so that wouldn't help either. I just have my iPad. Which, I mean, works okay if you're doing art on the go, but if you're actually doing art on a PC, you want the precision of an actual computer tablet. But alright. That's gonna be it for me. Dell seems to mainly make those these days. Things to ponder. Things to consider, because I mean, I got my iPad to use as an iPad, and I was like, and I can also use it for doodling, which is nice. But if I'm gonna, like, one day focus more on digital drawing, I should get a proper tablet at some point, as long as it's, like, you know, cost effective. But all right. Here is... Whoop! Ad break's about to kick in. I delayed it as much as I could. I yapped too much. I apologize. You have a $20 Wacom? Ooh, very nice. Rod? Oh, God. I'm putting myself to bed. I can't type. There's Raid. There's Discord. And here is merch. If you're feeling fanciful, cheaper works great. They're so cost-effective now. I remember getting a bamboo Wacom like 20 years ago, and it was like $80+ and it was barely functional. Bananas. Like, they're... Oh yeah, because I mean, there wasn't a ton of drawing surface on it. Back in the day, if you wanted one that was cost-effective, there was barely any actual space on the tablet for actually drawing. But yes, thank you for the stream. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I took a plunge and did something a little experimental here. But I'm glad you guys still enjoyed the vibes. Alrighty. If it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head off to bed. This one doesn't have much more space than a piece of paper. That was more than what I had, I am telling you. I'll see if I can find a picture of this waste of money that I had. Take care. Yeah, stay safe. Eat good food. Take care of thyself. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.